One knee taken by Stroud. And Arizona's not going to stop it. It's over at NRG Stadium. The Houston Texans have won 3 games in a row. Their longest winning streak in 5 years. They beat Arizona 21-16. And they will play for the lead in the AFC South next week. Bring on the Jaguars. We're live from the Mattress Firm broadcast booth at NRG Stadium. It's all over. The Texans win 3 in a row. They defeat the Cardinals 21-16 today. Arizona got the ball first, and just like the opponent last week, they go on a 75-yard scoring drive. Kyler Murray, 47-yard bomb to Rondale Moore, 7-0 Cardinals. Houston got a turnover on downs on the next Arizona possession, and they went to work with a 61-yard drive. They got it to the 20, and C.J. Stroud went to work looking for his tight end. Stroud barking signals. Here's the snap. C.J. throwing over the middle. Caught, sliding catch.
That's a touchdown.
And it's a touchdown. Dalton Schultz caught it inside the 5 and slid across the goal line. That was tremendous. Nobody touched him. As they looked at it, they gave it to the Texans. 7-7 count after Matt Amendola's extra point. Will Anderson had a big sack on an Arizona possession in the first quarter, but Matt Prater able to drill a 57-yard field goal to retake the lead for the Cardinals 10-7. Then in the second quarter, started in the first quarter, 75-yard drive, 10 plays. Devin Singletary, another century mark achievement for him as he got it in from the 11-yard line. CJ feeds Devin straight ahead, cuts left, 5, fighting for the goal line, and he's got it! Touchdown, Houston!
And he gives it an area.
All right, so 14-10 after that motor touchdown, 4-point lead for the Texans. And late in the first half, as they've done so many times, coming up with great 2-minute offense. Looked like they were playing for a field goal, but not so fast as they got it to the 40-yard line. Offset eye. CJ drops back in the pocket, looking, flushed out to the right. CJ guns it long downfield and caught. Touchdown! Wow. Amazing catch, Tank Dell. What a throw by Stroud, and Dell with the reception jumps into the stands.
Go Cougs, that's my guy.
21-10, 11-point lead at the break as Tank Dell is putting on a show this season along with his quarterback C.J. Stroud. In the second half, Texans got the ball, drove, but missed a field goal, Matt Amendola's first miss. And Arizona would answer a 62-yard drive, 6:18 off the clock. Murray with a 1-yard TD run to make it 21-16. We went back and forth. There were fourth down stops. There were 3 C.J. Stroud interceptions in this game. One of them went through the hands of a receiver, but 2 others were picks by the defense for sure. Texans defense had to fight for the win. It came down to a 4th down in Houston territory with time running out. Would the Texans be able to hang on and preserve the win? 4th and 8 at the Houston 27. Murray in the gun. Murray throwing downfield to his left and incomplete. Knocked away. Steven Nelson and the Texans take over on downs. 21-16. They have the ball with 30 seconds to go.
And more importantly, only one timeout for Arizona there, as they just did not call timeout. Why bother? Because the Texans could kill the clock, and they did. One knee did it. Houston victorious, 21-16 over Arizona. Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars were winners today over the Tennessee Titans, and they upped their record to 7-3. But one of the 3 losses is to the Texans. So if the Texans can get the Jags next week here at NRG Stadium, they will take over first place in the AFC South. With a long way to go, but it would be nice. Our Reliant Power player of the game. We feature a player after every game. Proud to be the official energy provider of the Houston Texans. Reliant. How about Derek Stingley Jr., 6 tackles, 2 pass breakups, and an INT, the second of his career. And John Harris joins him in the locker room.
All right, guys, the victorious locker room alongside Derek Stingley. All right, how many big sighs of relief have you had since you walked in, man?
Man, we all just grateful for the win. We knew we were going to pull it out at the end, and we did.
Derek, take me through that interception, because that's a big one. That felt like a really big momentum swing. Did you know they were going to try and test you deep on that one? Take me through that interception.
No, I mean, I was just on Hollywood, and he took off and had his head down, so I was like, oh, yeah, it's probably a deep throw. And then I just waited till I caught back up to him and then looked for the ball and caught it.
You saw his eyes, because I could see you, because you had your head down. What did you see? What made you turn back for the ball at that point?
I mean, just knowing, like, the trajectory of, like, like where he's looking at. And I just looked at that same spot he was looking at on the ball.
And then you got to catch it, which is a whole different thing. But you got athletic skills. You can play receiver if you wanted to. Take me through the pass breakup, the big one on Dortch going across there on that final drive. What happened on that one?
I mean, we was in, a match coverage, and I seen somebody else go away. So then I just kind of figured he was about to run dig, and just made a play on the ball.
How's your confidence been back for a couple of weeks? How you been feeling? How's your game kind of rounding into shape right now?
It's good. Still got some ways to go, but, let me get done.
What does it feel like to just walk in here after a win like this, Derek? I mean, defense has got to come up big in the second half, and it does. What does it kind of say about your defense, the way that they came through in the second half?
You got to say that again, my bad.
How about the defense coming through big in the second half? What does that say about your unit?
Nah, I mean, we all believe that we could come together and win. So, I mean, we didn't have no doubts at all on the field. So, we kind of just knew it.
People calling you out in the locker room, Derek. I know that's time, man. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations.
Sure, thank you.
All right, there's John Harris with Derek Stingley Jr. following the Texans' 21-16 victory over the Cardinals. And coming up, we're going to take a peek at next week with the Jacksonville Jaguars coming to NRG Stadium. The only visit this year. Texans have already been to North Florida, and they were big winners there. Can they do it again? Well, Dre, the Jags. We've seen them before. Texans were blowout winners in North
Jags,
Florida.
huh?
And ETN, he's been doing well lately. 14 carries, 52 yards today, and a 20-point win over the Titans, and it wasn't that close. Trevor Lawrence, 2 TDs today. Ridley had another big day. And what do you make of this one? Because the Jags are clearly a better team. They've won 6 of 7 since week 3. Blowout loss at the hands of San Francisco. Everybody else, they've taken care of their business.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough, scrappy football team that has weapons and a pretty good quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. So a defense that can make some plays and make noise. It's why they lead the division. I mean, they are in first place for a reason. It's a good football team. They're coming here, and we need to figure out a way to take care of them in this building next weekend.
Yeah, when you look at what Connor did today to the Texans, it wasn't much. It was 62 yards, but 4.5 per carry. Murray had his moments throwing for 214. And the Jags can get that kind of thing going. You're going to have to be at your best defensively.
I think, obviously, with leading a division, they have more talent than Arizona. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to be more to dissect when you start to prepare for that game, because he can spread it around so many different places. ETN is a tough matchup in and of itself. So that'll be tough in the running game to try to slow him down, and then the receivers as well. Ridley's coming on.
Drew Doherty and John Harris have this thing, what if I told you? What if I told you in training camp that the final weekend of November, the Texans and Jags would be playing for first place in the division?
I'd take it right then and there. I don't care what the record is either.
I might have been mildly surprised at the time, but I guess nothing should surprise us now with the Texans victorious today over the Cardinals, winners of 3 in a row. Stroud throws for another 300-plus, does throw the 3 picks today, but he has 2 touchdown passes, including a bomb to Tank Dell, who had 149 receiving yards on 8 catches. And how special is he? Nico comes back 7 for 65, Woods 5 for 44. They spread the ball around again and get a lot of yardage through the air.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing to multiple receivers. It's fun to see. We talked about that a little bit in the pregame, where you don't know where it's coming from if you don't have a clear number 1 or number 2. Then it's just running the offense and whatever the reads produce. And you don't have a guy that's crying and screaming to the media he's not getting enough touches and, just being a diva. I think it's great right now how things are transpiring on the offense with that group, that room. And it keeps everybody hungry, because at any point CJ could come to you. That's the best way to operate, rather than a clear number 1 receiver that's, this Pro Bowl player that you have to get the football to all the time.
Well, it was fun to watch. It was another
Yes, it was.
finish that had us at the edge of our seats, but the Texans once again prevail. 3 wins in a row, all very close games. They'll take it. 6-4 record with the Jaguars next week. Once again, the final score, the Houston Texans 21, the Arizona Cardinals 16. This is Texans Radio.